All right. I hope that everybody can hear me. I don't know how to, I guess you can. Let me just double check. Okay. All right. Hello, beautiful. How are you all doing on this lovely Wednesday? I think Wednesdays are probably one of my favorite days because it's like a little bit slower for me. And I know that the end of the week is near. So, I am here to talk about mastering the art of receiving. Your girl has worked a lot on that throughout the years, specifically in my adult life. I've struggled with it as a child, and receiving is a huge key to being in your feminine energy. The feminine energy is literally the ability to receive. So, I want to talk about how to do that. Now, a lot of people, they struggle with receiving. They struggle with asking for help, letting people help them, showing their weaknesses, admitting that they need someone. And this is something that I used to do myself, and it takes you out of your feminine energy. Now, there's nothing wrong with being in the masculine energy, but there's a time and a place for that. And if you're anything like your girl, I cannot always be my masculine. I need to 90% of the time be in my feminine energy. So, as a child, I wanted to be a protector. I wanted to have this strong persona. I wanted to, just be so independent and act like I didn't need anybody. And I was hurting my feminine energy. I was in survival mode. And being in survival mode is a direct attack against your feminine essence that, all of us were created with. Some of us, we're naturally meant to sit in that even more. So, one of the major things that I had to do was make the decision to sit in my feminine energy. So, that's the first step. Allow yourself to sit in your feminine energy. Give yourself permission to be feminine. And look at the power that comes from that. You know, different people have different definitions of what it means to be feminine. People think about being gentle, people think about being kind, the ability to be led, these different things. And I think over time, people have taken advantage and abused, specifically women that wanted to exist in their feminine energy. So we tend to shy away from it because of that. Well, guess what, girl? Guess what, girl? There is power in your feminine energy. There is power in your ability to sit back with your arms open and receive. I don't know if you ever heard the expression, behind every good man is a good woman, something along those something along those lines. But essentially the idea is that while one person may be in the front, right, doing the leading, taking charge, taking action, which tends to be the masculine energy, the feminine energy is behind pushing and whispering and creating this almost safe space, if you will, for the masculine energy to exist, to move forward. So change the way that you see feminine energy. See it as a powerful force that has the ability to influence, has the ability to have fun, has the ability to foster creativity and, to enjoy play. So that is what we bring in our feminine energy. And for me, I had to learn that it was okay. It was okay to give, Yes, but it was okay to receive. Like, I was worth that. I deserved that. And my presence brings life. My presence is a gift to people. So that's the next thing to keep in mind. Knowing the power of your feminine energy, that it is powerful, and know what your feminine energy brings, right? My presence, this is me personally. I realize like I bring peace to people. People feel comforted when they're just simply being around me. I used to have so many students when I was in a middle school setting. So many students wanted to come by my office to get a snack and just to have a break in their day. Even if I didn't know them, they would come in and say, "This room just feels so peaceful." Let me tell you something. You cannot put a price on peace. So I had to give myself permission to be feminine and to see the power that comes from that. My Alexa affirmations is going off. Thank you, Alexa. Well, actually, I named him Ziggy. So my Ziggy affirmation is going off. Thank you for that. So, yeah, so I had to learn to, which I don't even know if y'all could hear it. Could y'all hear it? Okay, good. I wanted to make sure. Okay. So I had to learn to embrace that side of me and to let it flourish because it brings life to people. So, how is that relevant to receiving? Well, oftentimes people might feel like, I know I used to feel like I had to give something tangible before I was quote unquote worthy of receiving things. I wanted to make sure I gave. I wanted to make sure I showed up for people continuously so that whenever they did want to give to me, I felt like I had earned it. And we may not necessarily think about this on a conscious level, but your actions will show it. When people try to offer things, oh no, thank you, I got it. Oh no, actually, I'd rather da 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 da. Or when people, this is a big one, when people want to give you a compliment, they give you a compliment like, oh my God, girl, you're so pretty. And we feel the need to say, oh my God, no, you're pretty. It's like I have to give to feel like I was worthy of receiving that compliment that you wanted to give me or whatever else it was. So I made a decision one day, Chanel, your presence alone is giving. So receive whatever people want to give you without feeling like you have to earn it. How has this transformed my life, this thought process, this ideology? Not only do I now allow people to give to me, but I give to myself. So if you know your girl, I'm not a heavy spender. I believe in being wise with your finances and, making sure you're good in case of emergency. But I had gotten to the point where I used to almost that survival mode again. I was in a mode where it was like, oh my God, I can only spend on bills and a little bit of pleasure, which usually involves food, but that's it. That's it. I don't want to regret spending something. I don't want to need it later and wish I had held on to it. Your girl was in survival mode. And what would happen is I would pay all my bills. I would, make sure I had groceries, all of that. And then I would have like a good amount of money left over. So I kept asking myself, Chanel, why do you keep acting as if you're broke or like you're struggling? You're not struggling. So I realized after having a few instances of that, I was like, okay, you're in survival mode. Like, stop doing that. Stop feeling guilty for wanting to have a little fun and spend money on something that you simply want. It doesn't always have to be a need. So I started paying more attention to my body and how I feel and my wants and my desires. So opening myself up to that allowed me to feel like I could start receiving, not just from other people, but from myself. So fast forwarding, I know you see the Chanel bag in the background. So I love Chanel, of course. My name is Chanel. Growing up, I used to always ask for the Chanel perfume, Chanel Chance. That's my favorite scent. And when I became an adult, I was like, I'm gonna buy it for myself. And then I saw how much it was, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna leave that right there. But with this inner work that I've been doing, and with me telling myself I deserve to spend money on myself, not just on other people, I can let people spend money on me. It's okay. Really flourish in your feminine energy and flow. A couple days ago, I came to the point where I was like, you know what? I want to buy some Chanel. And maybe today it's not, a classic bag or a belt or like a blazer or whatever. It may not be like one of more of those bigger ticket items. I was like, but I'm overdue for some lipstick. I have not had lipstick in a while, and I want it to be Chanel because your girl loves Chanel. Chanel's amazing. So that's exactly what I did. So I'm gonna show y'all. So I went to this plaza, high-end plaza. All the stores there are high-end. And I was hoping I would find like a storefront Chanel. Well, it's not there. It wasn't there. So what I decided to do was first go into one of these high-end stores and just peruse, right? And just act like I belong there because I do. So I walked in there and the gentleman was like, do you want some champagne? Do you want some water? And I was like, ooh, I like this experience. So I asked for some water. So he brought me on a nice tray, a bottle of Evian water. And I was like, ooh, I feel so good. Like I opened myself up to receive this treatment because I decided I was worth it. That's what I'm telling you to do. Decide that you're worth it. So I took the bottle, I enjoyed it, I perused, I got to know the sales associates, and I told them, okay, my name is Chanel, I'll be back. I'll be back another time. So then I went into Fifth Sex Avenue, that's where Chanel was, and I looked around and I said, okay, what am I gonna buy? Now they didn't have the prices labeled, but your girl was not about to act like she couldn't afford whatever was in there. So I was like, okay, I got to know the sales associate's name. And I said, okay, I'll let you know if I need you. Pulled out my phone, did a quick Google search on the prices. I was like, okay, this is in my budget. I'm gonna get this. So that is what I did. I got this lipstick and she helped me try on a couple of different ones. This one is called Milky Blueberry. Milky Blueberry, and it's a dual lipstick, so this is matte, and then if you wanna gloss it up, you can put this side of it. So, I had fun trying that on, and I got the sales associate's number, so whenever I need something or wanna go back, I can hit her up. And when I left out that day, I just felt so good. I allowed myself to exist in my feminine energy rather than telling myself I couldn't afford Chanel, I asked, what in Chanel can I afford today? And that's what I got. And then as I was checking out, I asked the associate, do you have any samples? And she was like, oh my God, I was gonna tell you there are samples. So she gave me some samples. She gave me Chanel Chance, which is my favorite perfume anyways. So I was so excited to see that was there. And then let me see. She gave me some like a face cream and and a cleaner, a cleanser. So I haven't tried them yet. They're sample sizes, but I'm excited. Like I walked out of there like, yes, you get to receive nice things. You get to enjoy luxury. You get to be feminine and flow with your day, flow with your desires. And that is what I did. That is what I did. That is what I'm encouraging you to do. So, what are the ways that I've done this, and I know I've already touched on a couple of them, but I just want to add a few more. So, learning and deciding, learning what feminine energy is and deciding I get to exist in my feminine energy, right? That's the first thing I did. And then, second, learning what my feminine energy brings to people, the power that it brings, right? So that's the next thing that I've done. And then after that, I start asking myself, okay, what are your desires? What are your wants? Flourish in that. Go for them. Don't deny yourself pleasure and play. So that is what I started to do. And that is how I have learned to master my feminine energy. And that is how I am encouraging you to master your feminine energy. Let me know what your questions are. Let me know what your thoughts are. So, if you're at the beginning of this journey and you're wondering, okay, like what are some maybe tangible or just a few more detailed steps in how to do these things, I have a couple questions to ask you or for you to ask yourself. So, one, and I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget, ask yourself, how do I feel? So, we like to run away from feelings a lot. Society does not encourage us to tap into our feelings. But to be in your feminine energy, you need to be aware of how you feel. So start asking yourself, how do I feel? How do I feel in my body? What's going on with me? Become more aware and then start giving your body what it needs and what it craves. And then another question is, what do I need? So if you're having a day where you've been ripping and running, as my grandma would say, ripping and running, and maybe by the end of the day you're tired, you're a little exhausted, but you think you should cook or you should wash, you got clothes to wash and all these different chores. Well, pause for a second and ask yourself, how do I feel? I feel tired. Okay, what do I need right now? I need rest. Even if it's just a quick little 20-minute nap, 30-minute nap, I need rest, and then I can get up and do whatever else I got to do. And then you give your body the rest that it needs. So your girl is good at that. Now, one thing I'm gonna do, baby, is sleep. Everybody knows that. It's like a joke that everybody makes. But if I know that I have some things to accomplish, rather than dragging myself and fighting through the tiredness and all that kind of stuff, I just give my body what it needs. I give it rest. I put a timer on it so I can make sure I still accomplish what I need to do, but I give myself what it needs. So that's a very easy, small way that you can start your journey to unlocking your feminine energy and mastering the art of receiving, giving to yourself, paying attention to what you need, your body, and then allowing yourself, telling yourself, I deserve this. I am worthy of what I want and need. Give it to yourself. And as you give it to yourself, as you give yourself permission, baby girl, I promise you, you will allow other people to give to you as well. And you will start to receive what I told y'all I did when I went to Chanel. I received from other people and I gave to myself. I did it all, but I made sure I was being poured into. Someone offered me something, I took it. If I wanted something for myself, I got it. And it felt good. It felt so, so, so good. So, yes, so I wanted to come on really quick, talk to you about that because I was just so excited. I was like, I gotta share with my girls and check in with y'all, see how you're doing, and encourage you to master the art of receiving for yourself. Give yourself permission to exist in your feminine energy and flow. Flow with your body, flow with your feelings. Allow yourself to receive. All right, girl. So I hope you're having an amazing day. Can't wait to talk to you again. I'm going to go and I will see you next time. Bye.